Just for the record, Dick, has no bearing on our elections office whatsoever. We have complete confidence in Renee and everything that she does there, so. But it's just a nationwide discussion, and I know it's filtered down into.
Yeah, as it says in the resolution, that there's a voter confidence thing out there that an awful lot of people do not trust the machines. And I know there's controversy, and you can certainly argue both sides of that from now until doomsday. It doesn't make any difference, but we're losing voters because they don't have confidence that their vote is actually being counted correctly or that it's counted at all. And I'm not saying whether that's a correct evaluation on people's part or incorrect, but the problem is we're losing voters, and that's unacceptable.
Right, and it is a regulation from the Department of State that every vote has to be electronically tabulated. Yeah, so I mean, hand counting and stuff wouldn't work,
Yeah.
and
This is not anything about hand counting, but paper ballot, period.
this, again, our election director does an outstanding job. So
Oh,
I wanna make-
absolutely. I have complete confidence in Renee in her office. Absolutely. I've never had any questions about anything else.
But for the record, I'm a 1 day, 1 vote hard copy guy, so that's where I'm at.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any
Thanks.
other?
And just for clarification, I believe that our county signed a certification that we provided to the Secretary of State last year, indicating that we are in compliance with all the requested or required obligations. And again, your vote will be counted in Bradford County. I don't believe any of us have any concern about
No,
that.
I will say this, that's one of the preeminent roles of a commissioner and election board member is to ensure that the process and the outcome is something that the citizens of Bradford County can count on. And I will tell you that our workers in the polling places, our workers in the office do an exemplary job to ensure that our elections are conducted with security and efficiency, and that the votes are counted as they should be. That's one thing I will tell you. I spend a lot of time with elections during the elections process.
I've spent a lot of time across the state of Pennsylvania. And, representing, our county. And I will just tell you that if it was not our county, I'll be honest with you, I'm the only commissioner here that was here for paper ballots. The only problem we had with paper ballots back when I was here was the tabulating machines, they jammed. And today the optical scanners are terrific. I talked to one of the best commissioners of Pennsylvania, which is Josh Parsons from Lancaster County. He and Ray DiAgostino. They have 500,000 people, and that's the way they do it. And they do hard copy, and they do the scanners at the precincts that people run right through. So you always have your hard copy, prints out a tabulation form, thumb drive. You can if you have want to do any recounts or anything it can be done through central or what have you, but you always have that ballot. And I think it's, I was always sad because Help America Vote Act, because of the knee-jerk reaction from the hanging chads in Florida, is why we got the machines. And just for a little history, there's 67 counties in Pennsylvania. There's 67 different ways to vote, and there's all different kinds of machines. Ours are they're a ballot marking device. I don't care. I've never cared for the machines we have, but that doesn't mean that you have to worry about your vote in Bradford County, especially our elections office. However, voter rolls have got to be cleaned. They do a great job in our office, but it's got to be done across the state of Pennsylvania. Because remember, 15 blocks in Southeast PA, if there's anything going on, and look, people are going to find a way to be dishonest. It just is. It's been through time, but that could wipe out the votes in Bradford County. That's why it's important that I keep myself in tune to what's going on across the Commonwealth, because I want Bradford County votes to count in countywide national elections. And I don't have confidence in the other counties, confidence in ours. And I think until we get back to a basic standard of voting in Pennsylvania, I think we're always going to have this. And I know in our county, I'm not saying it's justified, but I think, Tim, you had said that you'd had people talk to you about whether their vote counted or not. People go and vote. Look, I don't like mail-in ballots. I don't like the way the state legislature did it. They never asked us, the people. It was deemed unconstitutional. They should have put it on the ballot. We should have voted on it. It should have been discussion, and it should be locked down tight. And that is not what they did. Not what they did at all. So although I don't like it, it's there. I encourage people to utilize all forms of voting and vote. But I am a one vote ID hard copy person. And that's where I'm always gonna be. So I just want everybody to know where I stand. And that has got, and we have 100% confidence in our election. We work very closely.
And I would
How
just,
do we make it so it's uniform straight across?
We
Not only in Pennsylvania, straight across. What's the procedure to even start on that?
beyond my pay grade.
It's a state and national level to do
Yeah.
that.
But you,
But that's, I think that's why we're losing.
But part of the reason that that's not done is so that you can, because if you went a uniform across the country, it'd only take one entity to get in and subvert the system.
Yeah.
And then it's compromised across the entire country.
and myself, I will not do anything illegal, or I'm vice chair of our Republican committee. I will not do anything as far as ballot harvesting and stuff, but I have had eyewitnesses in North Philly on election day in 2020, watch a handful of ballots get stuffed in the box. Called me on his phone while I was witnessing. And he was actually afraid for his safety. So at that point, so we've got to really tighten it down. I know Florida does them. They have election police to where they're making sure that everybody does it honestly. And I think if anything, uniformly, we need to go through and need to make it honest. And I know that I just talked to my wife's dad in Kenya as a third world nation, but they feel that their last presidential election wasn't honest. He sent me a video of some of the outcry that there was as the president spoke, because people are unhappy and they don't trust their vote. Now it's a completely different country than ours. However, look, we got to make sure that, and I don't like the word voter integrity. Everybody uses it so loosely and nobody does anything about it. But we need to lock it down and make sure that our votes are 100% locked down. In Bradford County, they are, but unfortunately, just think about it. You got 15,000 votes up here. How many down in Chester County, Philadelphia County, Philadelphia City? How many? I mean, if there's anything goes wrong, ours aren't going to matter. So that's where I'm at. And this is not a knock on our elections at all. People should be proud of their elections office here and their poll workers.
if I may. We will do what state and federal law requires us to do as it relates to elections. And I would also say is, to the extent that there were potentially concerns that were raised, those type of concerns, if they're raised, need to be supported by affidavits, proof, etc. They go to court, they get resolved. There have not been any court cases that I know of that have found a basis to call into question in Pennsylvania the validity of prior elections. And so again, I would reiterate, go out and vote. And that's it. And in Bradford County, and I would say in every other county, you have certified, you have elections officials who are doing their utmost. And I would say that's across the board in all 67 counties. So I'm very proud of what Renee Smith-Coors and her team does, as well as everybody at our local precincts. And again, we will follow the law.
Absolutely, but I'm just gonna tell you, in the real world, where the then Attorney General would not let any videos be on drop boxes. And you want to public lawsuit, did you not hear me say the guy was scared? This guy lives in South Philly, he's a tough guy. He's whispering on the phone. And I'm telling you that we need to make sure that we have I don't have 100% confidence in Southeast PA or Allegheny County. I'm just gonna tell you right now, no confidence whatsoever. I have confidence in us, but I continue to work statewide and continue to stay abreast, because I want Bradford County's votes to count. That is statewide when it's state elections. And I'm not sure I have that confidence right now. And I know that there can be lawsuits and stuff. Go ahead, go right into the cancel culture, because that's where you're heading into. And maybe beyond, because I know my buddy called me and he was daggone scared. He was whispering on the phone. So that was North Philadelphia, just for the record.
Did he take that public?
you're not listening to what I'm telling you. Do you understand what physical harm means? Do you understand what cancel culture means? Do you understand that? These people are scared for their lives. They're scared for their reputations. No, it's up to us. He called and told me, I'm gonna do everything, and I'm not mad at you, but I'm telling you it's a problem. And I'm telling you that we need to lock it down. We have a system that we should have 100% confidence, we do here, but I want to make sure our votes count. And you know what? Probably if he would talk to you, he would tell you why he was whispering, because I know what he told me on the phone. I said, can you do something about it? He goes, I can't do anything about it because I'm gonna get thumped. That's what the man said.
I think that there's a value
You
in whistleblowers,
Yeah, but
and if there's an issue that the person has integrity, he's gonna bring
do
it up.
you remember at Philadelphia when they were standing there at the polls with ball bats? Do you remember those? Do you remember Mitt Romney not getting one vote out of precincts? Do you remember those days? It isn't here. It's there. I'm not taking issue, but I talk to these people. And we have to demand confidence through crowds of Commonwealth, because I'll tell you what, up here, I don't know as if we matter. And there's always, if people are gonna do nefarious things, they're gonna find a way to do them, but we gotta just work like heck to make sure that it's safe and honest. So I don't disagree with you, but I'm just telling you, the real world, that ain't the way it works. You see people stepping off the porch and voicing stuff, where are they going? Right into court, and they're bankrupt. So a lot of people are afraid to do that. And I understand it, but look, we have to be proud of our elections. We have to demand it statewide, that these other people do it too. And I know there's 500,000 people in Lancaster, and Josh and Ray oversee that. And they do a terrific job. They use paper ballots with optical scanners, and it goes through. Is it flawless? I don't know, but I know that they have confidence in it, like we have confidence in ours. But they're the firewall the T is where rural Pennsylvania votes, where we vote. And those guys are the firewall for them. So,
Yeah, I don't want to belabor the point, but I do believe that there have been whistleblowers that have come forward, they paid the price. And the price is that they haven't sold their integrity, and they've been very brave, and they've had threats against them. So if your friend has an issue with the voting,
so I have
I
another,
believe that you should
Yeah.
encourage him to come forward.
so I have another friend that did go public. And he had a very left-wing liberal organization that's gonna take his law license, gonna bankrupt him. He's getting pounded right in the dirt. And I could ask him if he'd call and talk to you about what he's gone through, because he stood up and we can talk about this later, but he stood up for a county, a rural county. He stood up for that county. And he right now is probably facing bankruptcy and losing his law license for doing what he thought was right. I don't disagree with you, but in the real world, that's not the way it's working in our country right now. So.
All right. Any other